and welcome to EMTV's Real Metal, a show where we review heavy metal themed horror movies. And this first episode, we're going to be taking a look at the 1986 film Trick or Treat. I'd like to introduce my panel right here. We have JP from our Wicked Words segment, Simon, the host of Extreme Metal Television, and AJ from Scythia. Now, first up, guys, have you seen this movie before?
Yes and no. I saw it when it came out back in the 80s, and I haven't seen it for 30 years, so it's like seeing it again for the first time.
And Simon?
Actually, this is my first time seeing a movie.
Yeah.
You know?
AJ?
Considering both my parents were 17 when it came out, I'm going to have to say this might be the first time. Yeah.
You weren't even a glint in your father's eye back then.
No, sir, I was not.
First up, let's take a look at the trailer for Trick or Treat.
Wake up, sleepyhead.
It's party time!
Rock and roll will never die. At least not this Halloween.
You've heard of raising spirits from the dead by incantations, right?
I guess.
I did that by playing a record backwards.
You're kidding.
Sammy Kerr. He's a rock and roll nightmare.
I am a big fan of yours. I've got all your records. Shut up!
You're the bait, and bait is you.
This message is meant for me.
How can you listen to this stuff?
Shut it off! Shut it off!
What have you done to your stereo?
I wanted a new one.
Sammy Kerr. His fans won't let him die. He won't let them live.
You should be loyal to your hero. Make it turn on you.
Trick or treat.
Looks like we better check out the party punch.
First up, what did you guys think of this movie? JP?
It was great. It was fun. It was a goofy 80s horror movie, heavy metal theme, bit of action, bit of violence, bit of TNA. It was awesome.
I just found that there wasn't enough TNA. It was a great movie, though. I mean, the concept was really nice. I think that for a lot of people who haven't seen or haven't listened to heavy metal and seen the scene, like the metal scene, they might get a wrong interpretation of heavy metal as a music format. But aside from that, it was pretty entertaining.
I would agree. It had so many stereotypes, like just the posters on the wall and the things that, you know, metalhead or glam metalheads go through in high school. It was kind of like a trip back to my high school. It was funny. But yeah, I enjoyed it. I liked it.
Now let's talk about some of our favorite scenes for the movie. What did you say, JP? What was one of your favorites?
Well, I had a couple favorite scenes. First one was the MILF mom when she was doing the exercise in the lycra suit, the leg warmers. She was pretty hot. But the best part, I think, was just looking back at all the kind of memorabilia. The opening scene, going through his bedroom, his attic room or whatever it was, with all the old posters of Raven and Anthrax and Judas Priest and Motley Crue. It's like, yeah, it looked like my room back in the day.
Simon?
I would have to say part where he's tearing down the posters after Sammy Kerr died, and he's ripping them all up. Then all of a sudden he looks at Sammy Kerr's photo, like the poster, and he's like, "Oh, can't touch that one." And the other one would definitely be when Sammy comes out of the house. And there's the police officer there, and he goes to tase him, and he just grabs the prods from the taser and then vaporizes him, and all you see is boots. And it takes that 5 seconds. Where's gravity there for that taser to hit the ground?
Ghost taser. Yep. I enjoyed when he came out of the amplifier, and he stood there with his guitar, and he started doing the Rammstein knee stomp. And it took everybody probably about 20 or 30 seconds, and then they started clapping, and then they started playing, and then he started killing people with his laser ray guitar blast. And I swear to God, I've had a dream like that where I do that, and It was just, it was personal, and it got too deep, and
That was also one of my favorite scenes, where the fact that he blows, the guitar player from the high school band blows up, and Sammy Kerr comes on stage. The rest of the band just kicks in and starts playing with him.
Show must go on, man.
2, 3, 4.
Yeah, fuck it, a gig's a gig. Let's talk about I guess a big selling point for this movie was the fact that Ozzy Osbourne and Gene Simmons had cameo roles in there. What did you guys think of those?
I really enjoyed the Ozzy Osbourne one. Just how ironic it was. He played like the priest, and he had like short, frosted blonde hair, and it was just wrong, and it was awesome at the same time. And how Sammy kills him through the TV. Like, what the hell was that? Like,
The fact that it's referenced a little bit later in the movie that he died of
Brain aneurysm.
brain aneurysm
or something.
Yeah, but it was like mysterious circumstances.
Oh, yeah.
He died on television.
Everybody could see his head being tossed sideways and him screaming and writhing in pain.
JP, what did you think of Gene Simmons' performance?
Oh, it's funny. You know, Gene playing the old sort of 70s Wolfman Jack DJ, howling at the microphone and stuff, and then he's telling the kid, you know, don't let rock stars believe their own hype, and this is coming from Gene. I'm like, oh, it's just this classic line.
Let's talk about the soundtrack for a minute. That was performed almost entirely by the band Fastway, featuring Fast Eddie Clarke, formerly of Motorhead at that point in time. What did you guys think of the music for the movie?
I would say that the music was appropriate for the movie, but like when we were playing the high school scene, right, where Sammy is doing is being the singer and the guitarist, he just didn't have that look to fit the music itself. I find, because it looked more like Poison or more of that glam.
Twisted Sister.
Yeah, like that glam look.
So
the music is appropriate for the movie, but I just find that the main character himself, like the main bad guy, didn't fit the image that I would think when listening to the music. So yeah, but you know that comes down to basically what was popular in the day as well, right? I mean, you know, they'd focus more on what was out there, I guess. But, you know, I could be wrong in that one. It's possible.
No, I agree. And then, like, especially the audience, like, I don't know what they were trying to attract back in that day, but nowadays, people like us seek that shit out. So it's like, that type of music appeals to us because it's like, yeah, just whatever, old metal, you know?
Now, me and you kind of grew up on this stuff.
Yeah.
So,
fun.
yeah, what did you think?
I thought it was great. You know, Fastway, I'm a fan. I have all their albums. And like you said, it's the Pete Way from Wasted and Fast Eddie Clarke. There's a super group on a major label, and they're in a movie soundtrack. It's like, wow, this is a big deal. You know, this kind of mainstream metal's getting some credibility and recognition. So it was like the guy said, kind of a little bit watered down. It was sort of fist-pumping, anthemic hard rock / metal back in the day. But also, you know, a lot of the heavy stuff hadn't come out yet, or was just bubbling under the ground. So, you know, the movie producers, they would never would have heard of Metallica or Slayer in '86. They'd be like, oh, what is that?
Did we talk about how our antagonist, Sammy Kerr, almost died with his hand in a toilet?
Oh my god!
Water and electricity don't mix, so that's like a natural, you know. It's if you got to kill the electrical bad guy, you stick him in the water.
Well, the funny thing, though, is that electricity and water do mix.
Yeah.
Because, you know, it's a conductor.
So now, hold on. Don't bring logic into this movie.
It was probably like an economy toilet. It had low flush setting. It's like,
well, the fact that she flushed it and it sucked him in too.
Yeah,
Don't forget that.
maybe that's just saying that anything that washes the makeup off is bad. You know?
Don't get the hair wet! Don't get the hair wet!
Oh god, definitely.
I guess, would you recommend this movie, JP?
I would. It was fun, a good way to spend an afternoon with your buddies, having a laugh, and I wouldn't take it too seriously. But yeah, it's a little slice of that moment in time from 30 years ago. This is kind of, dare I say it, a pop culture kind of thing, horror, heavy metal, and that was a big theatrical movie, and a lot of people saw it.
What do you think,
I would say for anybody who hasn't seen it, and anybody who wasn't around in the 80s, you know, it's a kick. I mean, you know, you get to see, it's certain aspects, you get to see how it actually was for metalheads back then, but you also get to just have a laugh. I mean, because there's certain things that happen, and it's just like, well, like you said earlier, the toilet, right? The toilet, the monster rape scene with the headphones. Oh, and you get to see old hi-fi stereos.
The Tower of Power.
Yeah.
You know what? I absolutely would, because when you run out of things to do in this day and age, we need to refer to the way it was back then. And I'm talking wardrobe. I mean, look at Sammy.
Yeah.
That is glorious. Yes, 100%. 10 out of 10 would do.
Thanks for watching this first episode of Real Metal. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I'd also like to thank our panelists right here. Hey guys, if you enjoyed the show and you want us to keep doing more, please hit like and share it. And remember, in the comments, why don't you let us know what movies you'd like to see us do? To end it off, guys, why don't we hear a word from the Reverend Gilstrom?
This could kick you off into becoming an absolute pervert.